We're at the Earth course this week at Jumeirah Golf Estates for the DP World Tour Championship, and this is the opening hole. Plays a little down with the drive off the tee. There is a smattering of bunkers down there to gobble up your ball with the second shot, but most players just laying it out slightly to the right with the camber of the fairway kicking it over towards that right side of the rough as well. The green sits down below the level of the rest of the hole, and as you can see, 3 sections to aim for. The lower left on the front, and then back right as well. Can't see too much of the ball landing.
Number 2, uphill par 5, a real good birdie chance. Players are aiming over that right-hand bunker. It's a fairway that doesn't really release very much because they are pitching into quite a large ridge and an upslope. They turn a little bit from left to right, leave themselves between a rescue, maybe just get there with a long iron. The front bunker really is the one that's the problem. If you hit it in there with a front pin, you've got every chance of getting up and down. Quite a small green nestled back into the slope in the shadows. A really good birdie chance, the second.
This is the third hole, and as you can see, up and over the hill you go. The right edge of, you see that middle bunker down there? That's about 300 yards off the tee. And if you aim on that right edge, it will kick down to the left. It looks as though it's in the middle, but as we track forward, you'll see it's actually far more towards the left rough than you'd potentially expect. There is an upper right plateau between those 2 bunkers on screen right now. And that gives you a better look with the second shot into the green. Can't see too much of it as well. Over on that left-hand side, past that green side bunker, it will kick forward. And you've got to take that into account, especially as the greens start to get firmer towards the end of the week.
Number 4, it will play pretty much the hardest hole on the golf course. They tend to use the back tee all week. They never really move this one forward. It's a demanding one. The pin on that front left is the one really that the players struggle with. It's so easy to run through into the back bunker. One of the firmest greens on the golf course. And a real test. The 3 is a good score. You will see many bogey 4s on this demanding par 3.
Again, you are faced with a myriad of bunkers off the tee, but not too many of them really come into play, where a lot of players lay back short of that middle one around 300 yards off the tee, because it is critical to get the second shot, in particular the yardage right to this elevated green, which is very well defended by a couple of deep bunkers. That one in the front left, that's nasty, don't go there. And just try and get your yardage right, like I said, because you can't see the ball land. Another feature of the Earth course here at Jumeirah Golf Estates.
Number 6, the second par 3 on the front 9. Completely different task to the one at number 4. This is a much easier, real good birdie chance. Even when the pin is on the front, you will see many, many 2s. Quite a flat green that does run away from you. But all in all, there will be many 2s at number 6.
So across the stepping stones, past the waterfall you go from 6 to 7, and then you have to pipe the ball on this par 5, 572 yards through the chute, but no issue at all, as you can imagine, for players of this calibre this week. You're faced with a lot of bunkers again. You can't really see the gap between the first and second on the left off the tee. And that left and that front right bunker over there, they'll both be in play this week. It is gradually uphill, but it is substantial on the par 5, so it does play longer than its yardage. Find the fairway, try and blow it up there as far as you can get. Maybe on the left side down there between the front left edge and that bunker if the pin's on that side. Otherwise, laying up short of that bunker around 100 yards if you found a little bit of trouble off the tee to an elevated green.
A classic par 4 on the Earth course, number 8. A hole that the players will definitely take on. 4 bunkers, they're all in play, but you can find the green from them all. Quite a sharp dogleg from right to left. It will be a 3-wood driver to somewhere about now, and as you turn, a green that sits across you. Quite a flat green, but one of the smallest on the course. So more aggression off the tee is to be recommended, no question about it. And the unusual feature, no bunkers really in play at all with the second. Unusual, a 4 is a very, very good score at number 8.
The 9th, and it's similar in nature to that of number 7 in that it is a gradual but substantial rise. As you can see, a couple of bunkers down there, right in the landing zone, that one on the right, 295 to get into. So a lot of players just trying to find the wider part of the fairway, just short of that. They'll be blowing driver up there again to a very elevated green. It is +8 from that second shot, so that gives you a good idea of what they're facing. They can't see much of the surface. And look at that little thin strip in the front. Always fun watching them go for that.
A demanding tee shot at 10. Used to be a lot more claustrophobic off the tee than it is now. A little bit of the scrub has been removed left and right, so a little bit more chance if you do miss the fairway. It's a beautiful little par 4 down the hill. It probably plays about 5 downhill from tee to green. 3 bunkers guard it, but really they shouldn't be in play with a wedge. You'll probably see most of the guys hit an iron, maybe a hybrid off the tee, and they'll be lobbing a pitching wedge to a green that definitely runs away from you. The left-hand pin is the one that's hard to get close to. It's very, very easy to just run it through this green. It's a bit of a sleeper mine, but a good par 4, number 10.
401 yards, par 4, the 11th hole, and it kind of snakes its way around. And as we move down it, you'll see on that right-hand side, there's actually a little bit more space over there that opens up that you can't see from off the tee. So there is a little bit more cushion there to be had. Most players will leave it short of these bunkers, and then it's around about 2 yards downhill to the green. You walk through a dip, but yeah, slight elevation change there. Big mound at the back of the green, which will affect the slopes as well on that back half.
Demanding tee shot, number 12, 476 yards, aiming down the right, maybe just drawing one off those bunkers. Uphill all the way, plays more like 500 yards to a really, really narrow, elevated green, guarded by quite a large bunker on the left. Players will be hitting about 5 or a 6 iron into this green. Tends to really, really firm up because of the elevation of this hole. And you will see many, many 5s on this. But occasionally the players on that front right-hand pin location, they will just grab the odd birdie or two. A really good hole, one of the best on the course.
This is the 13th, first par 3 on the back 9, and it is a good one. It is a 3-section green. You'll see a lot of people on the tee looking up to the tops of the trees, just trying to get the measure of that because you can't always feel it. It doesn't always affect it on this hole, but it is, as you can see, all about the yardage, particularly when the pin is on the left. That's only 10 deep over on that side, usually one of the toughest pins on the hole.
Par 5, 14th, good birdie chance. When the earth course first opened, it really wasn't a hole that the pros were hitting in 2. All changed now. They tend to catch that downslope. Left-hand bunker's in play, so it's imperative you find the fairway. Just turns a little bit from left to right. A couple of bunkers down the right will just save you from catching that penalty area. But some sort of hybrid, maybe a 3 or a 4 iron if you can be brave enough. Should finish on the putting surface, and 3s and 4s are plenty. Bail out left, it's a tough up and down for your 4.
This is the last short par 4 on the course before you get into that final 3 stretch. It is the 15th hole, and you'll see a lot of players pull driver purely for almost a lack of a better option, lack of an obvious option off this tee. So they'll try and chase it up past that just little bunker on the right. That's 296 to get over. So they'll try and knock it up close and then wedge it in for one of the last remaining short par 4s on the golf course.
Good par 4, 16th, as Ali was saying, quite a demanding finish to this earth course. Driver maybe just fancied you favour the left side. Very easy to run out on the right, and then you're blocked out by that one lone tree that really does cover the midsection of the green. If you do find the fairway, 9, 8 iron. Obviously the pins down the right are the demanding ones. A very shallow green, quite wide. You'll see many, many 5s, but if you're brave enough on that right wing, you will make 3.
Many rounds have been brought unstuck on the final par 3 on the golf course. It is the 17th, and whenever there's water around the greens, you find that the wind seems to funnel through those areas. So you have to get the yardage right. It is 50 yards long, this green as well. A lot of players playing for the heart, putt to the pins, unless you're feeling a little bit more daring.
A great finishing hole, the 18th on the earth course. 2 bunkers down the left will await the pull driver. If you can just test that right-hand side, it really does open the green for you. Quite a narrow entrance off the tee and to the second. We've seen many a magical moment here at the DP World Tour Championship. 3-wood, maybe a hybrid for the longer hitters. Quite a slopey green nestled back underneath the amphitheatre. 2-tier green it is, and if you go long, it's a tough up and down. But I'm sure the winner of the race to Dubai will be happy to make a birdie here.
To watch another European Tour video, click here, and to subscribe, click here.